Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am doing part 1 of my Blubell Manor. So if you're interested in this build, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. This is the first house that whole house. I did a fair amount of teen rooms using the new Parenthood game pack. So I'm a little bit late to the game build-wise. To be fair, this build took me about 8 hours, maybe more. I couldn't fully tell you why. I'm just kind of a slow builder. But that is why this is in 2 parts, because I really just couldn't fit it into one part without it being like an hour long. Not really, but close-ish. But yeah, so I had kind of wanted to go with sort of a craftsman house style for this one, and I even had like an image I picked out, and I sketched something new too. So I'll throw up a picture of the sketch that I did before I started building this house. That was kind of my inspiration. I like doing that sometimes, but I did just kind of want to go with a suburban house. It's huge. I love it. It ended up being a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom home, which isn't, that big, but you can fit, I think, 8 Sims in there, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, 8 Sims. So this would fit an 8 Sim household. And so for this first half, I am obviously building the basic shape, and then I only furnish the downstairs area, and I don't do any landscaping. So that'll be in the next part, and that will be coming up as soon as tomorrow. I just didn't want to post them on the same day, but I don't really see why I would wait, especially because with the new, oh gosh, what's it called? Fitness? Oh gosh, stuff pack. I'll be making a build of that, and that'll be coming out sooner than next week. And next week I'm doing a very special build that's going to be my apartment, and it's also going to be a really big update build. So you guys, I mean, you can miss it if you want to. The update isn't that important, but it's big to me. And here I am being all secretive. But yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff planned for you guys, and I'm really excited. I'm also going to be doing some more collabs in the future, which I'm really excited about, with some good friends that I've made here on YouTubes. I like saying that sometimes, YouTubes. Sound like I'm 80. What have you been doing on the YouTubes, young lady? Oh goodness. But yeah, so I think part of the reason why this house took as long as it did is because the majority of it is built on a diagonal. The diagonal builds can look so gorgeous. Like, I do really appreciate how much work I put into this, and I love how it turned out. But criminy, building on a diagonal in The Sims is so hard because certain angles can't intersect, and with roofing, you probably might have noticed that when you're watching this, that some of the roofing that I wanted to do just did not work because it's just, Sims game. And I also wish we didn't have to build on, I guess it would be 45-degree angles. Yeah. We can only build on 45 and 90 and I guess 180 degree angles on this, so that kind of makes it a little bit hard. But here I added a little like sort of overhang garage, and I love how that turned out. I originally just thought I would add that little extra thing as a support, but then it kind of looked like a free space. Then I kind of was like, that'd be a perfect place to put a car. Because I don't usually put cars in my build. Not really. I mean, I do sometimes, but not very often. Also here, I can't help but point out that roof is crooked. I noticed it once I was taking the screenshots and filming the intro, so I was a bit too far gone. And part of the reason why it's like that is just, roofing styles. But hopefully nobody else will notice, and you will only notice now that I pointed it out, and so I probably shouldn't have. But here I'm getting into the windows, and this is the point where I got the Parenthood game pack. Before that, I was just kind of building it, and I knew that the game pack would be coming out soon. And one of the really cool things is the windows on the diagonal wall get really fat, like right there, and I love it. I thought that looked really interesting, and usually not very many of the windows in The Sims 4 change when they're on the diagonal walls, and the same thing goes for most of the doors. But there are some, and I was surprised that those were one of them, and I thought it was a really interesting way to use them, and so I was really excited. You can see I'm kind of trying to fit in as many as possible, but I did try and not go too crazy with the windows, and I think it looks pretty balanced. Like I said, I'm very proud of this build, which is a good thing since it took me so long. Oh my goodness. I actually tweeted out a few pictures of this in the process, partially because I was complaining about how long it takes, but I have been actually getting really into my Twitter lately, and like I've been doing some fun things on there. Like I held a poll for what of the teen rooms I should build, and I ended up building all of them, so the poll was kind of redundant. It more just kind of decided which one I built first. But yeah, I do kind of stuff like that, and I've been posting, pictures of my works in progress. So if you're interested in any of that, you can follow me on Twitter. It's just at Penapple, I think YT, maybe not. I don't know. It's in the description down below. I am so great at self-promoting. But here I actually included the coloring. I don't usually do that, but I figured since I'm splitting this up into 2 parts anyways, I might as well show you the exterior coloring. I don't think I showed all of the interior coloring, but right now I'm kind of just going with a blue color scheme. I thought that'd be interesting. I am dying for more siding colors. I'm dying. Like, I feel like all my houses look the same, and like recently I started building something and I went with a red, black, and white color scheme, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you've done that so... I feel like I've done it too much. But I also feel like, what other colors am I going to go with? I would love some more greens and even, more blues, although we have a fair representation, and I would love a sort of goldenrod yellow instead of the sort of pastel yellow, and I would love purples. Oh, my kingdom for a purple wall siding. And orange. Well, I don't know. I love the color orange, but as a house, maybe not. Even I can acknowledge that orange isn't the most universal of colors. But I actually struggled a lot with the kitchen, and yeah. And I also really struggled because I wanted to have the dining room table in the kitchen. And I think it could look good there too, but I just fiddled around with it so much that I finally replaced it with a island. And here there's weird lighting with the cabinets, which ended up I wanted walls there because I thought they looked kind of weird free floating, so I ended up building this whole little like hallway section. But I think it looks really cute and adds some fun architecture, and it kind of mimics some other stuff that goes on in the house. But yeah, oh gosh, what was I saying about the cabinets? And oh yeah, that kitchen table, I went through so many. I cut out a lot of me just fiddling with it. And part of the issue is I did not know what color scheme I wanted for the kitchen. Like, I really just was a little bit lost. And it wasn't until I think I started in the dining room that I finally decided that I wanted a red and blue color scheme for at least the downstairs. The upstairs, which I do in the next part, definitely has a lot more color in it because it's different rooms and for kids and stuff. But yeah. Ooh, I got winded. Whew, goodness gracious. I talked a mile a minute, but here you can see I did cut out some of that coloring, and this is what I stick with. And here you can see I'm trying again to figure out the color scheme, and it just wasn't working for me. And so I ended up doing a little separate, smaller dining room, but what annoys me about it is that it can only fit 6 people, and this is a house built for 8 Sims. So, but it's not really, I guess, maybe I just don't do this, but I find it very hard to get my Sims to all sit down at the same dining table, even if there's enough spaces for them, because they're just like, I swear, all of the Sims, they act like they have ants in their pants. Like, they can't sit still. It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. But here's the island. Also, odd choice for the edges of these new counters. Like, I kind of like it because it's interesting, but on the other hand, I've never seen counters like that, and it just kind of is odd to me. And like, especially if you only have like one corner, it's like, what happened here? But I love the new texture for it. It's really cute, really realistic. I've been wanting a texture like that for a while, and I love, they added some new colors. The whole cabinets don't match the countertops color-wise, which is obvious with the fridge thing, is very obnoxious. I kind of just tried to ignore it. Yeah, it doesn't bug me too much, but goodness. So Sims team. But here is actually where I figured out the color scheme, because I love this navy blue wall. It's like one of my favorite choices, and so I finally decided on it when I was picking out the curtains for this room, and I am really glad of the decision I went with. I don't think it's a super common color scheme, and I just like how it turned out, and this is basically when I use these curtains. Which reminds me, I lost my train of thought. Talking too fast, excuse me. I like drank about a gallon of coffee, and by that I mean I drank 18 ounces, I think, and it's like 8:30 at night, and so I'm kind of loopy today. I got off of work, so everything's kind of disjointed. But on the hill from this house is the base game suburban house that I built, and it kind of has a similar color scheme. Like I said, I've run out of ideas a little bit. But that one's base game only, and I thought it fit really nicely with this one. They kind of both have a similar style. And so that one's also up on the gallery, and it has a speed build as well. I'll link them both in the description down below because it's super, I love that one as well. And yes, oh gosh, this is the worst time to be doing a speed build because I just keep spacing on what I'm gonna say. Oh goodness. Goodness gracious me. Very professional. Super legit. Stalling. Ooh. Oh well. Anyways, here you can see I'm trying to add some more pops of red, which I think was really fun. Especially because, you know, this pack came with a lot of new cool red colors, which we've had before too, but very bright. This living room, way too big, and this living room and the master bedroom both were like, ooh, so there were a lot of like work to figure out, because if you've seen any of my builds, you know I'm not good at minimalism, and so when you have a space this big, like I feel like pretty much anything is minimalism unless you want to add like 80,000 things into one room. So I had a little bit of difficulty with that, but I like how it turned out. I don't think I've complained about this yet, this specific furniture set, but the Sims team really outdid themselves with the mismatched furniture sets that aren't complete. Oh, Sims team. They gave us a love seat that doesn't match anything else. That kind of matches the 3-seater they gave us, which doesn't match anything else really. Which definitely doesn't match the armchair they gave us. And I get the sort of like mismatch idea, but just if we want to mismatch, we will. Like, but all the other times, can't we have a matching set if we want them? I don't know. I'm a complainer. It's in my nature. But I've seen a lot of people complain about that, and I figured, why not add more to the pile? And that's not saying that I don't love this pack. I actually really do. And I feel a little bit late to the game with pretty much all of my comments, because this is like 2-ish plus weeks after it came out. But I don't do reviews just because I figure there's so many other people who do them and do them better than me. And also I don't get early release copies, so it's kind of redundant. Like I can, with the early release copies, I both agree and disagree with them. Like, I think it's fair, but I don't think it's fair that the people are allowed to release their content before the pack is even released. And like, I can see why, you know, to generate more interest, but I think that really hinders some of the smaller channels, just because it doesn't matter how on top of your game you are, you're still going to be a day late to the game. And we've got all the other people who have put their stuff out. And so it's just kind of, I just don't think it's fair. Like, I personally don't really care because I don't do review videos. But just overall, my sense of justice has been violated? I don't know. I tried to get really funny and it didn't work. But yeah, here you can see I am just kind of furnishing. I think despite my best efforts, I do think this living room ended up kind of cluttered. And the chairs, there's like little desks behind the sofa. And my idea with that would be that's where the kids would do their homework and probably watch TV. Did anyone else do that? Like, I stopped doing that once I got into high school, but when I was in elementary school, you best know I was watching SpongeBob and doing my math homework. So yeah, I distinctly remember that. We had the oldest TV set, like, honestly, like, it had wood. It had wood, like, sort of trim on it. That's how old it was. And it was like one of the curved screens, and it had like mesh on the sides where the audio would come out. And oh my goodness, it was in my parents' bedroom. And so I would go up there when they weren't home and I would do my homework and watch stuff on, like, so old. Oh my goodness. Oh, memories. We used to have a really, really big curved TV, and it was so, like, it was like a honking thing. It was huge. And like my parents, we did an expansion on the house, and they built like a entertainment area sort of system, place to put the TV, and they like measured the TV, and then like 2 years later they got a flat screen. And so like it looks really weird now because it was a square TV. Like, can you imagine? For all my younger viewers, TVs used to be square. Weird, huh? But yeah, here oh my goodness, I cracked myself up. It's a bit embarrassing. But here is the master and the master bath, and it also has a like changing closet room area, which I think is a lot of fun. But the new tile that came with the Parenthood pack, I have mixed feelings on. Just, I don't know. It's just not quite my thing. Like, I don't dislike it, but as you can see, I didn't use it in the kitchen, and that was partially because I couldn't figure out what color scheme I wanted. And I'll probably use it more in the future, but as is, I found it just a little bit hard to use personally. But everybody else makes it look nice. Maybe it's just me. It's just me. But I did show, like, my boyfriend, and he was kind of like, oh, that tile looks kind of weird. So I'm not the only person. Not the only one. Oh my goodness. But this bathroom ended up looking really cool. And I love, in the screenshots, you can see the mirror, like, perfectly reflects that red painting on the wall, which I thought just looked cool. And by the way, there are screenshots at the end of this, and it includes, like, I think 1 or 2 pictures of the exterior, even though I don't do the landscaping yet. And then it all is just the first floor. And yeah, I've been doing some of my more panoramic shots and whatnot, and including them in the outro, although this time around I kind of forgot that that's what I was doing, so there's a little bit less of that. But here's the changing room. I do love how it turned out. I wanted to do more experimenting with that carpet because I've been liking doing stuff, but it just didn't look the same on the diagonal. The diagonal is it's difficult to work with in The Sims. Like, it just is. Like, that and split level, I think that's some of the hardest stuff to do in The Sims, I think, just because it's off. And like, if you look at the left hand side of the screen, you can kind of, or now it's the right, but you can kind of see like the tiling is off, and like it just refused on those, like, that edge to change the tiling, and it's really weird. But this is what I ended up going with for the master bedroom to kind of divide it and make it a bit of a smaller space. And so it's kind of a weird thing, and that's actually probably the like 5th or 6th thing I tried. I cut out all of that footage because it was infuriating, but I like how it turned out. I think it looks very classy, very we have too much space sort of thing, how I've imagined. I think it looks very suburban. There is, some of these like big suburban houses just have some really interesting waste of space. But I do like how this room turns out. The blue and red color scheme is strong in this one. And there's also like a little private office off to the side there. And like your own sort of private entrance on to the back patio. But yeah, this house is like everything. It is so big. Like I can't even with how big this house is. Like I said, it took me 8 hours. I was dying a little bit by the end of this. Just a little. But yeah, other than the build stuff, some of the build things, I did really like this pack. I'm not the best. Like, one of the other reasons why I don't do reviews is I'm honestly really not good at telling you whether or not you should buy it, because I just kind of do. Like even if I see something I'm not super interested in, like bowling. I don't like bowling. But I bought the bowling soft pack anyways because I wanted the furniture and also just because I wanted the complete set. Yeah, not the best use of my money. You know, that's like 2 hours of work. No, stuff pack 1 hour. Only 1 hour of work. But that's a fair amount of money. But yeah, so I'm not the best judge of whether or not you should get something because I'm kind of just like, if you want it, But I do really like this one. But all of the stuff packs, they just, the team that they have working on, the game packs, the team they have working on the game packs is so much better than the one they have working on the expansions. Like, honestly, I don't really see that huge of a difference in content quality or whatever between the game packs and the expansion packs. I mean, technically there's more, but like I wouldn't say there's 2 times as much stuff, because the expansion packs cost like what, $40? Is that how much they cost? Or is it 30? But anyways, I'm talking nonsense now. I threw in a laundry room, not because I'm particularly dedicated to laundry rooms or I even really like this one, but mostly because it seems like we're getting them in the future, and so I kind of, especially in a big house like this, I'd like to incorporate an area where you could put a laundry room in the future. For sure, just so you can have, like, at least have it. Yes. But yeah, so anyways, gameplay. I'm so distractible. Gameplay for Parenthood, love it. I love all the new little interactions that came with it. My only thing is that it makes me more accountable now, because when my Sims do mean stuff, because when I do my Let's Plays, I love drama, and so now when my Sims do mean stuff, they become mean people. Like before, even if you had an evil Sim, they really weren't that evil, but now, like, the Sims is like keeping track, like, are you a good parent? Are you actually being nice to your Sims? And it turns out, no, I'm not. I'm actually really mean. I love drama. Like, I'm just, like, destroying my Sims' lives, like, now. But now the game, like, tells me, like, hey, you're destroying your Sim's life. And I feel so judged. But yeah, I do love how this island turned out, though. And I love that it's a different color. I think it adds a really nice bright pop. And I love the gingham checkered new seats. I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that style. And I also added that new sort of family board, not this thing, the thing that keeps track, although I haven't super played with it too much, and so it hasn't really seemed that interesting. It seems a little less like I don't know, I haven't played with it enough. But oh my gosh, we're coming up on the end of this build. Ignore all of my ramblings. But part 2 is coming out as soon as tomorrow, and in that part I will be doing all of the kids' bedrooms upstairs, a gym upstairs, and then all of the exterior landscaping and like living spaces. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!